Listen up, all fight fans and fitness junkies. You've been listening to me talk about Jocko Fuel for a while now, and if you've been waiting, the wait is over. This August, you can score a massive 30% off on all of Jocko Fuel's top-tier supplements. That's right, 30% off. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all of the good stuff and none of the bad. We're talking no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. And guys, I really want you to try some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. This deal is only going to be available for the month of August. So use code Chael30 or go to JockoFuel.com. Don't wait. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Guys, click on the link below to make it happen. Mighty Mouse retired. Mighty Mouse won a grappling tournament a week ago, or at least made it into the finals. Mighty Mouse hasn't been training MMA as much under Matt Hume, but he is on the internet catching workouts with Mikey Mussolini. Okay, you know what, guys? I'm confused. He retired from what? Demetrious Johnson retired from what? It must be from MMA. He is the reigning champion of Chatri's one fighting championship, and that's 135 pounds. He's returning that belt, relinquishing it, so now guys over there can get on with it. And Demetrious hasn't defended that belt for a period of time. So whether he was waiting on something or just waiting on the right time, either way, he's giving that belt back. But he's not injured. There's not an illness. And he's as sharp as ever. I can tell you all those things because I watched him 1 week ago. I watched him compete. I watched him break a young man's heart over there that he had to go and talk to afterwards. Show some sportsmanship. And there's a part of me that wants to say he got caught in the finals. Did he end up losing that? I don't need the result. Whether he won that or he didn't win it, he had 4 matches and looked great, looked athletic, looked fast. And you still got to be hungry. You've still got to be curious. To go out and compete in gi jiu-jitsu while being known as the greatest fighter to have ever done it and a reigning champion. Like, that wasn't a cash grab. They did not pay Demetrious to enter this tournament. Demetrious flew out on his own dime, paid them an entry fee like everybody else, because he loves to compete and wanted to test himself. I mean, I'm just sharing that with you because that does not go in line with a guy who's retiring. So, and I would only wish Demetrious well. I would only take this information and wish him well. I'm just wondering if we've got the right information. So I got to go back to my question. If Demetrious sees this and chooses to answer it, retiring from what? Is it everything? Or is it just MMA, considering he's the champion, vacated the title, and made this whole announcement in an MMA promotion? So Demetrious will never want to fight more. Like, right now, it's this big relief. Right now, it's this big relief. And within 2 weeks, it's going to be confronted with, who am I? Who am I and what do I do with my time? And if you don't have an answer to that, if you can't fill that question, which, by the way, he might. This is a great father and husband and teammate. And I mean, he's got other things going on. So if he fills that void, off life he goes. But if he doesn't, within about 2 weeks, he is going to be flirting with the idea of coming back. Now, everybody, and I do mean everybody, flirts with the idea of coming back. And you can't have a comeback fight if you didn't retire first, right, in the first place. So everybody will consider it, though. Some guys will do what Masvidal's doing and even take it to the marketplace. Say, who wants me and what's out there? What weight class and what kind of opponents are we looking at? Now, even in Masvidal's place, whether he ends up going through with it or not is another conversation. But everybody that walks away, everybody, George St. Pierre couldn't have been a more sincere walk out the door. Came back, retired again, couldn't have been more sincere, and then had even signed a contract to compete with Kamaru Usman winter of last year in a grappling fence. So I'm just sharing with you. Because the one thing that Demetrious doesn't know, and I just spoke to Demetrious. I just spoke to him for an hour. We did a podcast together. This was a month ago. One thing that became very clear when I was talking to him, he doesn't know how he's viewed by you, the audience, or even the fellow competitors. He does not know that we look at him different. We look at him special. He doesn't know that he goes on that same, whatever that is. I've heard people say Mount Rushmore, or other people are offended by Mount Rushmore, but whatever that echelon is, where Jon Jones and Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre are, whatever that is, so's Demetrious. That's how we view him, and he doesn't know that. And one thing that's going to happen in a short period of time, right? All artists become valuable or become more valuable in death. Even if it's the death of a career. See, that's the one thing that people don't fully understand when you talk about a mixed martial arts versus a painter, where the painter has to actually decease. Well, because that's the only way that his career comes to an end. He could paint until he's 80, he could paint until he's 85. We've had painters that have gone out that have been blind. It never ends. So for an MMA fighter, it can come to an end. And the reason I tell you that is he's going to get presented with ideas with more energy behind them. And more people say, hey, I would love to see that. Amanda Nunes is dealing with that right now. Amanda Nunes, as great as she was, couldn't get any records in pay-per-view. She's got no records in live gauge. She couldn't fill a house. But boy, she could for her next one. I couldn't explain the phenomenon for you. I could just historically give you example where it's true. And it's to the point where Amanda's thinking of coming back. It doesn't have as much to do with Kayla Harrison as the way the story is being told. It has to do with the encouragement that she's getting has never been stronger from you guys. Going to her and wanting her back and bringing up and saying, come on, do it. Come on, do one more. Getting that encouragement. And I don't know what you guys will offer for Demetrious. I just know that you will do it. And I don't know that it will come in 2 weeks. I understand. Amanda Nunes was a year, and this is much more realistic. And the talk of Khabib and St. Pierre, and one of the reasons that was so hot, like that wasn't all that hot at the time when they were both competed, and they did both compete at the same time for a period of time. It became hot when they were both done and you couldn't get it. We understand this concept. But what is it that Demetrious retired from? He retired from grappling, the thing he did a week ago, or retired from MMA, where he happens to be a reigning champion and he wants the locker rooms to get on it? It's a simple question by me. But if we're supposed to believe that he retired as a whole, I don't believe that. In fact, I dispute that. Will he ever compete in MMA again? Very unlikely. But will he get a real encouragement from you, the fans? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's coming. And by the way, don't be reserved on that. It's a tremendous compliment. It's a tremendous compliment you're giving Demetrious. I'm actually excited for it to come because, and I could tell this by talking to him, I really could, guys. He doesn't know the esteem and the regard that you hold him to. So if this is your last chance, give it to him. Go on social media. Tell him what you thought of his career. Whether he admits it or not, he'll appreciate it.